Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a do-it-all dive watch from Longines with the HydroConquest. So in this video and on this channel, we're looking at watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as a full authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive looking at this dive watch, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout this video, if you have further questions, check out the link in the description to the product page where you can learn more, purchase the watch, and book a time with one of our dedicated watch specialists as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. A lot of attention paid to Longines in the past few years have been aimed at mostly their excellent heritage collection, and rightfully so. It's loaded with interesting vintage-inspired models that position the brand as one of the best in the industry in that space, regardless of price range. However, because so much attention has been paid to the heritage models, some of the more contemporary collections get overlooked, particularly here in the United States. And today we're going to look at one of the more impressive contemporary models that Longines offers with the HydroConquest. And simply put, it's a great dive watch for around the $1,600 price range. Let's begin by looking at this piece on the wrist and taking a high-level view of the case dimensions. Now, it is important to note that there are different variations of the case size out there, but I think the 41mm variant is going to probably be the most versatile out there for a variety of wrists. In terms of the other metrics outside of just the diameter, we also have an 11.7mm thickness and a longer lug-to-lug dimension of 51.1mm. Fine linear brushing is applied to the majority of the HydroConquest case, from the downward turn lugs to the near vertical case sides and across the prominent angular crown guards. While the finishing is straightforward, it is executed with more precision and care that we often see from a price range like this. And you even notice with these brush finishes, there's actually almost a reflective nature to it that really goes to show the quality here. Between those crown guards sits a relatively long screw down crown. It's fairly unusual in its design too, with standard vertical grooves providing for the grip, and then it transitions to a prominent lip that runs perpendicular to the vertical grooves. Operationally, it doesn't have anything out of the ordinary to report. The crown unscrews into the winding position, and then to the second position, you can then advance the date, and at the final position, you can adjust the time. The HydroConquest does share the same water resistance capabilities as the non-diving Conquest. However, this model is more purpose-built for the water, as the name suggests, but 300 meters here. But this idea is clearly evident with the 120-click unidirectional elapsed time diver's bezel, executed with a polished outer edge and these somewhat sharp teeth designed to assist with its grip. Within it lies a polished ceramic insert to complement the dial and strap colors. The bezel action provides a lot of tactile and audible feel and is generally pretty easy to engage, although it can be a little bit slippery if you are touching the ceramic insert while rotating. Set between the odd size 21mm lugs, we have a textured color match rubber strap with a 2-button security clasp that has a premium feel but lacks a diver extension, unlike the bracelet. There are, however, a few micro adjustment points inside the clasp to hone in on that proper fit. This type of rubber strap must be cut to size, so proceeding slowly and with caution here is key. The underside of the strap has the Longines logo throughout, which adds a nice visual touch. Moving over to the dial, we are confronted with the flat and flush sapphire crystal through which we can admire the muted olive drab green dial, aided by several layers of anti-reflective coating applied to the underside of the glass. A set of oversized applied Arabic numerals at the quarter hours of 12, 6, and 9 o'clock have an explorer-esque appeal to them and are paired with the applied circular hour indices in between. Foregoing the use of a chapter ring, simple printed linear markings denote the minutes with an outline date aperture in the usual 3 o'clock spot. Dial text is also straightforward, with only the printed Longines name and the winged hourglass below that oversized 12 and a reference to the 300 meters of water resistance at the 6. Charged with the time-telling duties is a distinctive hour hand that is reminiscent of Tudor's snowflake design, and it's paired with a faceted pencil-style minute hand as well as a simple lollipop sweep second hand. Each hand is fitted with Swiss Superluminova, and across the dial there is an ample application of the material as it shines in an intense sky blue in darker conditions. Overall, we have a focused yet stylish design that leverages some familiar dive watch design language for an on-point execution. But turning the HydroConquest over, we find a solid screw-down case back that, along with the screw-down crown, are responsible for that healthy 300 meters of water resistance. The case back is decorated with an old-school Longines logo motif, as well as some surrounding reference text. Powering the piece inside is the Longines caliber, the L888, based heavily on the ETA A31L11, which in itself is a modified ETA 2892A2. ETA's slimmer, more upscale alternative to the popular ETA 2824. Now, the primary modification here from the ETA 2892 is a reduced beat rate, adjusted from a standard 4 Hz or 28,800 vibrations per hour to a slower oscillating 3.5 Hz or 25,200 vibrations per hour, a frequency best known to enthusiasts from Omega's coaxial collection of calibers. In this case, the slower frequency is utilized to preserve the energy from the mainspring, extending the power reserve here to a capable 72 hours. An additional benefit here with the L888 movement compared to other heavily modified offerings from the Swatch group, that instead of slowing the movement all the way down to 3 Hz or 21,600 vibrations per hour, this caliber is splitting the difference between 3 to 4 Hz, and when you're talking about essentially placed second hand, it's going to just make that second hand appear a little bit smoother with its sweep in action. In terms of general specifications, we're looking at 25,200 vibrations per hour, 3.5 Hz. It does feature hacking and hand winding and has a power reserve of 72 hours. And in terms of some anecdotal evidence, this particular example, and this is just anecdotal, but we tested this model, it was running around 4 seconds off in perfect time of day when testing at 5 different positions. Now to unpack looking at the HydroConquest. When examining the different dive watches on the market, say at $1,000, $1,500, and $2,000, and just look at the spectrum there, most of the dive watches on the market are going to be a little bit more towards the $1,000 price range, and you see a lot more at the $2,000 price range. But then in between at $1,500, I noticed that there aren't as many options. Now, you don't want to necessarily make a decision on splitting the difference of maybe looking at something for $2,000 and trying to make a sacrifice on price and just go for whatever you can really make happen. I'm a huge proponent of waiting for the thing you truly want. But when you look at what is being offered at $2,000 until you kind of get into $3,000, the HydroConquest is going to hang with anything above it, as well as really do a great job of being positioned as a step above many of the things below. The movement on the inside is going to have a nice lengthy power reserve. It's going to be reliable. The finishing on the bracelet as well as on the case is going to be well done. A couple things that I will point out when it comes to just the case and wearability, one with the longer lug to lug that is going to make this watch just wear larger on the wrist, and then also with the crown. Although you're getting a nice secure crown, it's going to have its own distinct style and silhouette. It is a bit harder to actually unscrew, and with that kind of rib finish at the end, it's rather sharp to actually unwind. Not going to hurt you, don't be afraid there, but still something to consider, and it's not going to maybe be the best knurled execution that you're going to find on a dive watch. But in totality, if you're looking at the Longines HydroConquest, it's probably one of the most overlooked Swiss dive watches out there from a mainstream brand. Probably because it falls in this interesting range of $1,500. And when you're talking about that price range, given that there's not as much competition there as $1,000 or $2,000, it is able to stand out in a distinct light. And very similar to what was said about the Conquest as maybe one of the best everyday watches for its price range, I think the same could be said for the HydroConquest as a great approach to a do-it-all Swiss dive watch with a contemporary form and look. All right, everyone. Well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That really does help out the channel. But also, if you're in the market for this watch, check it out. It is available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is a full authorized dealer of all the brands that we carry, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support. We also offer a full factory warranty for all of our products. So if something goes wrong, you're going to be covered. And ultimately, how we're able to make this content possible on this channel as well as on our main channel is all through the selling of watches on our website. So apart from getting a great watch, you also are supporting the content. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.